Imagine reading a headline that says, "Student fails math, wins the Nobel Prize." It's catchy. It spreads. But here's the truth. Most viral versions of that story are myths. Einstein didn't fail math. He mastered it early. So let's do something better than a myth. Let's tell the true growth mindset story behind real Nobel journeys. How people who were told they weren't good enough in science or math rewired their identity, rebuilt their skills, and changed the world. And as we move, I'll hand you simple tools you can use tonight. Start with a teenager at an elite school in England, staring at a brutal report card. His biology teacher writes that pursuing science would be a waste of time. The boy's name is John Gurdon. He is ranked near the bottom of his class. He struggles to memorize facts. He keeps the report as proof that the gatekeepers can be wrong. Years later, Gurdon becomes the scientist who shows that a mature cell can be reprogrammed back to an earlier state, the foundation of cloning and regenerative medicine. In 2012, he shares the Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. The same boy who was told he wasn't cut out for science ends up changing the rules of life itself. How? Not with a magic gene. With a growth process, curiosity, better methods, steady practice, and feedback loops that make mistakes useful. Pause on that. People often think success is a straight line from talent to trophy. It isn't. It's a rough staircase built from attempts. The steps are ugly. They wobble at first, but you climb anyway, and the staircase strengthens beneath your feet. That's growth mindset in action. The belief that ability is not fixed, that it can expand with effort, strategy, and help. Let's bring in another story. Picture a young woman who doesn't see herself as a math person. She studies psychology, not physics. The equations feel cold. The symbols look like a foreign language. But she's relentlessly curious about how the brain maps space. She asks questions no one else is asking. She reteaches herself the math she needs, step by step, diagram by diagram. She leans on mentors, does the extra problems, builds the models from scratch. Her name is May-Britt Moser. Together with Edvard Moser, she discovers grid cells, neurons that fire in a pattern that looks like a honeycomb, giving the brain an internal GPS. In 2014, they share the Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. Early doubts about math didn't define her. Her practice did. Now, a third scene. Imagine opening a letter at age 30 and reading, "You're too old to start this field." Imagine also battling dyslexia, mixing up symbols on the page. You push anyway. You ask simpler questions, then better ones. You keep learning long after most people stop. Decades pass. At 97 years old, you win the Nobel Prize in chemistry for work that helps make lithium-ion batteries possible, the power source inside your phone. That person is John B. Goodenough. The subtext is clear. The calendar doesn't decide your potential. Neither do the red marks on your old tests. 3 different lives. One shared message. Your starting point is not your ceiling. So let's translate these stories into something you can use when a subject feels hard. Math, coding, analysis, public speaking, anything. Here's a simple blueprint you can follow tonight. First, switch the question you ask yourself. Most people ask, "Am I good at this?" That question traps you. It forces a yes-no identity verdict. Instead ask, "How can I get one step better at this today?" That question opens a door. It invites a plan. Second, build a tiny, repeatable practice. 1 page of problems a day, 1 paragraph of writing a day, 1 deliberate drill a day. The key word is deliberate. Pick a small skill and work it slowly, noticing errors. Gurdon ran experiments. Moser rebuilt models. Goodenough refined materials. They weren't performing, they were practicing. Third, turn errors into data. Create a 2-column error log. Left side, mistake. Right side, fix. Keep it short and specific. Mixed up signs on line 3, say signs allowed. Rushed last step, draw a box around final calculation. Forgot definition, write 10-word summary before problem sets. You're not scolding yourself, you're engineering better moves. Fourth, borrow a brain. Find a mentor, a coach, or a small cohort who will review your work and challenge your process. Gurdon found senior scientists who let him try and fail in their labs. Moser worked inside tight feedback circles. Goodenough stayed in conversation with the community for decades. Intelligence compounds faster in groups. Fifth, track effort that matters. Don't just count hours, count high-quality reps. Use a habit tracker where you mark only the work that met a standard. 30 focus minutes, no phone, 1 page of checked solutions, 1 problem explained back in plain English. When your tracker fills, your confidence grows for the right reason. You earned it. Sixth, tie emotion to the routine. Facts stick when feelings are present. Before you begin, take 60 seconds and picture who benefits when you get better. A client who finally understands your report, a teammate who trusts your data, a student who learns from you later. Feel it on purpose, then begin. Routine plus emotion. Repetition you'll keep. Seventh, rewrite the label. Drop "I'm bad at math" or "I'm not a writer." Those labels are handcuffs. Replace them with "I'm a learner" and "I'm someone who practices." Your brain listens. It adjusts focus to match identity. That's not woo-woo. It's how attention works. If you like frameworks, here's a 5-move loop you can steal. Define, drill, detect, debug, deploy. Define the exact skill. Solve systems of equations with substitution. Drill a tiny piece. Do 3 problems slowly, showing each step. Detect where it breaks. I lose track when I substitute negative numbers. Debug with a tactic. Underline the term I'm replacing. Speak the sign aloud. Deploy the fix on 1 more problem immediately. Close the loop. Tomorrow, raise the difficulty 1 notch. That's growth in practice, not in theory. Now, let's put this loop into a short story inside your day. Imagine you've decided to learn data analysis. You open a notebook and write. Skill. Filter, group, and summarize a data set. You set a 25-minute timer, phone across the room. You work 1 clear example with comments in simple English. Group sales by region, sum totals. You run it. An error. You log it. The fix. A missing comma. You rerun. It works. Before the timer ends, you try the same steps on a slightly messier data set. It almost works. You log the new error, mark your tracker, close the notebook with a win. Tomorrow, you'll repeat, 1 notch harder. In 2 weeks, you've built a reliable chain of proof. That feeling, evidence stacking under your feet, is the opposite of "I'm not good at this." It's "I can get good at this." Let's come back to mindset principles because they are the foundation under every tactic. Ability is built, not bestowed. Your brain lays new pathways when you practice with attention. That's neuroplasticity. It's not instant, it's real. And repetition is how the path gets paved. Effort only counts when it improves strategy. Working longer with the same mistake bakes in the error. Working smarter, changing the method when you find a flaw, is what raises your ceiling. Feedback is a gift, but only if you use it fast. The longer you wait to apply a note, the less likely you'll use it. When you get a correction, apply it to 1 more problem immediately. Lock it in while it's fresh. Environment beats willpower. Set the stage before you perform. Clear your desk, put your phone in another room. Open only the tab you need. Lay out your notebook and pen. Make the good action the easy action. Stories like Gurdon's, Moser's, and Goodenough's show 1 more truth. Timelines are personal. If you are 16, 36, or 66, beginning again is not an embarrassment. It's a strategy. The energy you wish you had tends to appear right after you act, not before. Momentum is earned in the first 5 minutes. So here's tonight's action plan, simple and specific. Choose 1 skill that scares you a little. Write 1 sentence that defines it. Set 1 25-minute block on your calendar tomorrow. When the time comes, do 3 slow reps. Log the errors. Apply 1 fix on the spot. Mark the tracker if and only if you stayed focused and finished. When you finish, say out loud, "I am a learner." Then move on. That's it. You've started the staircase. If you want to push, add one more move. Accountability. Text a friend. I'm doing a 10-day skill sprint, 25 minutes a day, 3 reps a day. Want to join? Share a photo of your tracker each night. If you miss, tell them. Keep it honest, not heroic. Let's end where we began, with the myth of failing math. The real risk isn't failing a problem set. The real risk is failing to try because you pre-decided you can't. That's the fixed mindset in disguise. It whispers, protect your ego, don't look bad. Growth mindset whispers something else. Use today's errors to build tomorrow's skill. The first whisper feels safer in the moment. The second one makes your future larger. So if a subject has ever made you feel small, borrow this sentence tonight. I'm not behind, I'm at the beginning. Beginnings are where everything is still possible. Open the notebook. Draw the first line. Write the first step. Because one day, much sooner than you think, you'll look back at the old version of you and smile the way Gurdon smiled at that school report on his wall. Not bitter, but grateful. It didn't predict your destiny. It provoked your decision. Your move now? Define one skill, schedule one block, complete 3 slow reps, log 1 fix, and mark 1 box. Do it for 7 days, then tell someone what changed. That's how a hard subject turns into a quiet strength. That's how stories become systems. And that's how you build a legacy anyone can see. Starting today.